am I allowed as a white heterosexual male to sit on this bench? Or would that be considered transphobic? Would that be like, I don't know, parking my car in the handicap spot? David Menzies for Rebel News here in Vaughan, Ontario. And my cameraman and myself, we're here in Vaughan at Vaughan City Hall to cover a council meeting today. And I couldn't help but notice, because it is Pride season, you got 3 flag poles and 4 flags. I see the Canadian flag, the Province of Ontario flag, the City of Vaughan flag. I can't quite make out the 4th flag, but it is not what you'd expect, is it now? The de rigueur rainbow colored flag. So I'm kind of surprised by that. But wait, just in case you thought the city of Vaughan isn't down with the Rainbow Mafia, that ain't the case. Take a gander here, folks. Here we have a permanent Pride mural, Progress Pride, and it's painted onto the infrastructure. And yonder, I see a chair also permanently painted with the mural. So, in a way, I'm kind of now pining for the idea of putting up a temporary flag, because this is around all year round. And by the way, it is not cheap. Do you know that a Pride crosswalk is about 50 times the cost of a normal crosswalk? That's right. We're talking about 15 grand or more for this paint job. I don't know what it costs to paint the mural on the bench. I'm in a dilemma, folks, because I know this is terribly uncool to say. I'm a white, able-bodied, heterosexual man, so am I supposed to use this crosswalk? In other words, is this only for the people it represents? And when it comes to the people it represents, there is so many initialisms these days for that community, but I'm going to go with the Elementary Teachers Association of Ontario. Their way of describing the community is the following: LGBTTTIQQAAPP. Now, I know what one of the T's stands for. That stands for Two-Spirit. How do I know this? Well, I'm going to throw to that infamous interview Stephen LeDrew gave on the Tucker Carlson show. Mr. LeDrew was the former Liberal Party of Canada president. And wow, check out this.
Okay, I'll get specific with you. And this is meaningful because teachers are being taught this, kids will be taught it. And I think I have a right to non-judgmentally ask what they're talking about. So, for example, what's Two-Spirit?
Well, Two-Spirit sounds like there's someone they don't know whether they're, fish or fowl. They don't know whether they're frick or frack. So they're clearly confused. And, again, if you're confused, what better place to go than to be at school?
Now, I know on the surface it doesn't look that LeDrew said anything that bad, does it? But, no. Fish or fowl, frick or frack, people who are obviously confused. Well, the Spirit unicorns went crazy, and what resulted was Bell Media terminated the career of Stephen LeDrew. And you'll never believe the ultimate irony. The reason LeDrew went on to Fox News to give that interview, he was making the case that Canada is a bastion of free speech. So how do you like your liberalism right now, LeDrew? Now, one thing also I'm very confused about. Once upon a time, it was just the 6 multicolored bars that made up the Pride flag. Then they added that triangle and the black and the brown stripes. That represents black and brown skinned people. I thought this was about sexual orientation and gender identification. I don't know what race has to do with anything. And then we have the white, pink, and baby blue. That represents the trans community. But wait a minute, the original flag also represented the trans community, LGBT, right? But I guess trans are extra special. Now, the latest edition of the Pride Progress flag has the purple circle embedded in the white triangle. That is to represent intersex people. Well, City of Vaughan, I don't see the purple circle on the sidewalk crossing. I don't see the purple circle on the bench. City of Vaughan, say it ain't so. You're not intersex phobic, are you? And as I mentioned from afar, folks, here's a close-up shot of the Pride Progress bench, but I'm very confused. Am I allowed, as a white heterosexual male, to sit on this bench, or would that be considered transphobic? Would that be like, I don't know, parking my car in the handicap spot? But then again, if I don't sit on it, would that be transphobic in that I'm not expressing allyship with the LGBT, etc., community? It's also very confusing, isn't it? Folks, we know you love it when Rebel News brings you the other side of the story, but we need your help. Please go to rebelfieldreports.com. That's rebelfieldreports.com. And if you're able to, kindly make a donation so that we can bring you the kind of journalism you've grown to love and trust.